Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talk. I hope everybody's having a great start to their weekend, as it is Saturday morning. And with the markets closed and everything kind of quiet right now, I was kind of debating what I wanted to talk about. At first, I was going to talk about bank runs because we just had another bank closure. But then I shifted over and I said, you know what? I just want to talk about insurance. And the insurance that silver and gold bring to the table. And we all buy insurance. We buy insurance, whether it be life insurance, health insurance, car insurance, home insurance. And I think a lot of people take for granted different types of insurance, though. There are other insurances that people out there don't really think about. And when it kind of all starts going crazy, that's when insurance really comes in valuable. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. If you guys enjoyed the video, please help me out by taking a quick minute. Hit that thumbs up button. It's Saturday. Let's try to pump this video out there. So let's get started. And most importantly, leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I love to hear y'all's comments. It's not just the thumbs up and the subscribing if you're not subscribed. So insurance. How many of y'all have probably insurance? I think most of you guys probably have some form of insurance out there. And insurance is actually getting higher and higher priced, whether it be flood insurance, home insurance, fire insurance. Maybe you got driving insurance, car insurance, all the different types of insurance out there. But what happens when you buy insurance? Insurance just keeps going up in price, and on average, for the most part, nothing ever really happens. Maybe, and then, some people, unfortunately, do get to claim on their insurance. I guess, I don't know if that's an unfortunate thing or a good thing. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You're actually listening to a guy that's not big on buying a lot of different types of insurance. People have giving me a hard time because I don't buy hurricane insurance, and I live on the coast. I live on the Texas coast, and I don't believe in hurricane insurance. It's not necessarily that I don't believe in it. It's that from what I've seen with big insurance companies, they just want to try to dwindle the payment down. I know people that lost part of their roof, and they want to patch their roof up. They didn't want to buy them a whole new roof, and it was a headache. And insurance is, when it comes to like windstorm insurance, it's a lot like FDIC insurance, banking insurance. It's there and it can run out. Hurricane Harvey, after Hurricane Harvey, we had multiple hurricanes one year, and there was barely enough money to cover everybody. So therefore, they ended up trying to, like I said, patch roofs and stuff. FDIC insurance, basically if a bank goes under, they have a run on the bank, let's say, that's it. There's not enough. If a bank goes under, there's not enough insurance to cover multiple banks. We could have, 5 or 6 run down, and it would just bring the fund down. But if all the banks started collapsing, because here's what happens. When a few banks go under, people start getting scared. And we've seen this last year sometime, where people were starting to get scared after multiple banks went under, and they basically reiterated that there's nothing wrong. But yet FDIC insurance was kind of tapped out. They had one of the top 15 banks go under. And, so if something bad happens, are you really protected? Some people say the government will come in and bail them out, and that's a possibility. But will they bail out again if they don't have to? A lot of people, some people know about, some people don't know about the Dodd-Frank Act that basically states that if a bank is in trouble, they have the right to use your funds and essentially basically use them to invest in the bank, and you get an IOU slip. I recommend you read a little bit about the Dodd-Frank Act if you get a minute, because I really believe that something bad is coming. Now, when it comes to precious metals, is precious metals an insurance policy? A lot of people will say precious metals is an investment, precious metals is an insurance policy, Precious metals is a store of wealth. When I buy precious metals, I think of it as an insurance policy. I take the money that I would spend on windstorm insurance, and I will save that money and I'll put that towards precious metals. I know a lot of people will disagree with that. However, precious metals in general retain value. And I've been doing this for a little while. I've been doing this since right after Harvey. I don't really talk a whole lot about it because a lot of my friends will laugh at me and say, what happens if your house gets totally wiped out by a hurricane? It is a possibility. What happens if we go 10 years and we don't have a hurricane? I mean, you essentially have thrown away tons and tons of money for the possibility that it might happen. Now, here's the thing. If you owe on your home, you don't really have a choice. They make you buy it. A lot of stuff, it seems like, in the economy right now is being force-fed to us. Think about it. Car insurance, you don't have a choice. You probably never even had, well, I shouldn't say most of you probably haven't even had a car accident in a while. You're older, you haven't had one in a while, you drive responsibly, but yet you're still obligated to keep buying it. For that 1% maybe that might need it, it's crazy. They make you buy it. Think of all the things that go into forcing us to buy. And if you got an idea or you got something that you're thinking about right now that they make you buy, go ahead and let me know. Another one that I always got a kick out of was the, what do they call it? When you buy your home, I think it's called mortgage insurance. Basically, if the bank doesn't get their money back from you, they're insured. And who buys that policy? It's not the bank. You would think the bank would have to buy that policy, but it's actually the consumer usually that has to buy it to make sure that the bank will get made right on the loan if something happens. But you know, when you buy precious metals, it is a form of insurance. It's an insurance that if the dollar tanks and everything goes bad, gold and silver will shine. Now, some people out there, a lot of the naysayers, a lot of the people that run around on YouTube and just leave negative comments about gold and silver, here's the thing they've got to consider, and you should consider this too. In the old days, and some still say it today, financial planners, they'll tell you that you should have 5% of your net worth into precious metals. Why 5% though? They'll say that because if the stock market does tank, that 5% will skyrocket in value and it will protect you. Here's the thing though, do you really just want 5%? I mean, you're buying something that will essentially continue to go up in value. And as it continues to climb in value, it's climbing up with the prices of everything else we buy, whether it be your food, your oil, your everyday items that you buy for your household. And as the prices continue to climb on those items, the prices continue to climb on gold and silver. And so it is an insurance policy because you buy a little bit, you own it. I talked to some people a while back that they had bought some stuff at $30 an ounce. And then they got mad when the price came down. And I said, well, think about it. Why did you buy it? I bought it for an insurance policy. If things go bad, I wanted to have it. And I said, and that's right. And did things go bad? And they said, no, actually it got better. And so now the price is plummeting. This was before when we saw silver go up to 30 and then all the way back down to 22. This last time we saw it go all the way up almost to where you're buying an ounce of silver at 30, 32 bucks. And we've only seen the spot price come down to $26.50 so far. A lot of people wondering, is it going to keep coming down or will it go back up? You know, here's the thing. The fact is you bought it as an insurance policy and nothing bad happened. You still have your insurance policy. You know, you don't have to get rid of it. You didn't lose any money on it. It'll be there the next time something bad happens. Now, here's the thing. A lot of the banks in the media, they'll tell you all the banks are doing good now. You know, we don't have that many banks. I mean, yeah, one bank went under recently. Whoop-de-doo. That ain't nothing. But the truth of the matter is a lot of the problems that we were seeing before have not been fixed. And therefore, the underlying problems are still there. Now, down the road, we don't know what will happen. Maybe they'll be able to pull a rabbit out of the hat and things will get better. But it's not a guarantee. And it's nice to know that you have a certain amount of precious metals, whether that be gold and silver. You know, I know someone tomorrow that I'm going to be meeting up with. Someone had asked me if I would meet up with him, and he recently had an emergency come up, and he wants to sell off roughly 40 ounces of silver. It's not a lot. He just said, you know, I bought it. I need the money. Something came up, and so I'm going to sell it. I said, is that what it is? Are you nervous it's going to go down? Is it, you know, I always question people a little bit. He said, no, I'll end up probably buying it back down the road, but for right now, I really need the money. And so I said, okay. And so I am probably going to get with him and check everything out and then do and then do a meetup with him and another person and try to help set the deal up. It's not something right now I want, only because I've bought a ton of stuff over the last month. In fact, I just got another, if you've been following the channel, I just got another huge package in today. And the other day I got a bunch of tubes in. Let's see if I can kind of spin the camera a little bit. As you can see right there. You know, so I don't always have the money to buy it. But I recognize that there's a lot of people out there that like precious metals. And knowing people that collect, knowing people that stack, it kind of makes it even easier. This gentleman doesn't really know anybody. He didn't end up talking with me until recently. So I've never dealt with him. I told him, I said, you know, I have a tester. I'm going to test them. I found it interesting because they were buffaloes and they said copy. But they're actually a 2004 replica of a buffalo coin, United States Mint buffalo coin. So until I test them or have them in my hand, it's hard to really know for sure. But I wanted him to know that because sometimes there are going to be people out there that will try to sell a product that maybe they realize they got burned on. And then they want to pass that off to get some money back out of it. I actually was talking to someone who was at a coin show, and the guy looked at a coin and he said, yeah, it's not real, it's fake. He's like, oh, well, what will you give me for it? He goes, nothing. He goes, I don't want a fake ounce of silver. It was kind of comical because, you know, people, when they realize they got burned, they want to pass that off to somebody. And that's why you have to be mindful that there are those people out there that don't want to be stuck left holding the bag. And here's the thing, when stuff really starts breaking down with IOUs, there's going to be a lot of people left holding the bag. And I don't want to be one of them. So that's why I buy precious metals. I hold it, I own it. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap up the video. I think that was a good ending point. So thank you for watching and commenting. I hope to see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.